Ladies and gentlemen, we finally made it to football season. It is finally here. Happy Sunday morning. I hope it feels like Christmas morning because that's exactly how it feels to me. And if you're not fired up for some Green Bay Packers football, then frankly, you might need to check your pulse. Hopefully by the end of today's show, I'm going to get you fired up because I'm going to tell you about an absolute gift that the Green Bay Packers are getting from the Detroit Lions. That if defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley plays his cards right, I think that they could take advantage of this and ultimately get the dub over Detroit later today. Speaking of getting that dub over Detroit, unfortunately right now, Lions Talk is leading us in our Week 1 sub-battle. This thing ends today, okay? We're only down 11 subscribers, not bad, but we don't have much time to make up the difference. I need you guys to help me out. I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. And the thing is, you don't just help me out by subscribing. You also help yourself out because you get daily videos all for 100% free right here at the Packers Report. So if you haven't joined us yet, today is the perfect time to do so. We've been waiting all day for Sunday afternoon. Lions in Green Bay, in Lambeau. Packers are 2.5 point favorites at the moment. That total over-under is sitting at around 47.5 points. So, this gift obviously comes from the Lions releasing their Week 1 depth chart, which charts out who's going to be starting, who's going to be playing when they take on the Green Bay Packers later today. Now, where this gift lies in that depth chart, in my opinion, is on the interior of the offensive line. Now, notice I said interior. I'm not talking about Taylor Decker. I'm sure as hell not talking about Penei Sewell because he's one of the best offensive tackles in the game. But I'm more going to be focused on Graham Glasgow and Tate Ratledge. Now, the reason that this is a gift is because Detroit had two massive losses in the offseason on their interior of the offensive line. Frank Ragnow, he hit retirement. Kevin Zeitler, he left in free agency after them acquiring him from the Baltimore Ravens, and now he's with the Tennessee Titans. Those are two really, really big losses. Especially Frank Ragnow, who a lot of people looked at as the best center in football. So replacing him is going to be Glasgow. He's a 33-year-old, 10-year veteran who's switching from guard to center, doing a little Elgton Jenkins move himself. But the thing is he wasn't that great of an offensive guard. 57.9 overall PFF grade, 85th out of 136 guards last year in 2024. 56.2 pass blocking grade, 88th. A 57.8 run blocking grade, that was 91st. And now he's going to be looked in the eyes in year 10, and he's going to have to move and play a whole different position when, if you looked at last year, he wasn't really even great at the position they thought he was best at. And then replacing Kevin Zeitler is Tate Ratledge. And if you follow the NFL draft, you probably know this guy, you probably know this name, and you probably recognize this mullet. 57th overall pick in 2025. He was a 3-year starter, 5-year player at the University of Georgia. But here's the thing about Tate. He underwent tightrope ankle surgery in September, missed 1.5 months of Georgia's season, rejoined the team in November, and played sparingly here or there pretty much throughout the rest of that season. So those are the two guys replacing the massive losses in the interior of that offensive line. And the two guys I believe can and will take advantage of that gift that Green Bay Packers are being given is Micah Parsons and Edgerrin Cooper. I'm going to convince you over the next 2 minutes why I think those two guys are going to absolutely feast. So Micah, in his career, he's played 83 career snaps as what is called a mugged-up linebacker. That's the great thing about Micah, is you can throw him pretty much anywhere, and 83 career snaps is not a lot, but I have a feeling he's going to be playing linebacker for Green Bay a little bit more than he was for the Dallas Cowboys. So what is a mugged-up linebacker, you ask? Great question. Well, it refers to a linebacker who lineups at the line of scrimmage directly over the offensive lineman before the snap. A lot of times you see this when a linebacker is blitzing or when they're trying to do a simulated pressure to make the quarterback think they're bringing 6 or 7. His PFF grade when rushing the passer as the mugged-up linebacker is a 99.9. That's not a typo. That is correct. 99.9, almost perfect as you can be. The second highest PFF grade in that category, you ask? Oh, it's just Edgerrin Cooper at a 92.1. Guys, that is ridiculous that you have the two best pass rushing linebackers on your team when they are rushing as a linebacker that's lining up over the offensive line. Especially when you're lining up over an offensive line that their interior took a massive hit over the offseason. Are you catching what I'm saying? Are you buying what I'm selling? Last year, the Packers played nickel 65% of their snaps. In nickel, Micah is most likely going to be lining up as an edge rusher. Okay? That's when you're most likely going to see him on the outside and Rashawn Gary on the other side of it. But we all know that their base with Jeff Hafley is a 4-3. And when you're in that 4-3, that is when Micah Parsons has the ability to be an off-ball linebacker. That is when Micah Parsons has the ability to come up there as that mugged-up linebacker and try to wreak havoc in the backfield that way. Cooper, Quay, and Micah off the ball all together when you're in that 4-3 base defense, if that's how Jeff Hafley wants to play it, is going to be absolutely lethal. To wrap this up in a bow, Green Bay has the ability to feast on this with Detroit. And I can promise you, Jeff Hafley, over the last 3 weeks to 3 months, has had this circled, their offensive line troubles, and has said, you know what? We can do something special. And then you add in Micah Parsons, and it makes that even more special than it already was. Oh, it's going to be a fun game. I think they can have a lot of fun in that backfield. Speaking of having fun in the backfield, how many sacks do you think the Green Bay Packers get today against the Detroit Lions? Okay? How many sacks? You let me know in the comment section down below. We got a lot more to talk about. I got keys to victory coming up in just a second. Before that, we got to talk about our awesome sponsor, and that is our friends over at Underdog. There's a lot of things I love in life. I love football. I love winning money. And the cool thing about Underdog is you get to do one with the other. Football season is here, ladies and gentlemen, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. Let's cut to the chase. If you download the app today and sign up with promo code PackersReport, you score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. And speaking of cash, your boy won some cash just this past weekend, okay? This is from the week 1 of college football. Of course, it's a little bit Vols heavy, but still, you see a lot of green check marks. You see a green check mark right down there for Garrett Nussmeier lower. I'm just living proof that you can win some big money with our friends at Underdog. Don't believe me? How about you join me today? I got the higher on Jordan Love, 1.5 passing touchdowns. The higher on Jahmyr Gibbs, 25.5 receiving yards. And also, speaking of receiving backs, give me the higher on 2.5 receptions for Josh Jacobs. Download the app today and sign up with promo code PackersReport to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code PackersReport. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org in New York. Call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. My number one key to victory. I'm going to rattle these off pretty quickly as we get out of here, and I try to get you prepared for today's game. Number one, you have to establish the run. And you do that with Josh Jacobs, okay? That's going to open up this pass game. That's going to make Jordan Love, Matthew Golden feel more comfortable. But we all know that this team and this offense is ran through Josh Jacobs. So that is key to victory, number one. Number two, when you're facing Detroit and you look at the skill set that they have in their weapons, you got to minimize the big plays. And that's the hard thing about Detroit is they have so many guys who can get you with those big plays. The good thing is they don't have the offense coordinator that they had last year with Ben Johnson. But the bad news is they still have Jamison Williams, they still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, and they still have Jahmyr Gibbs. 3 guys who could hurt you for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards at any point this game. Number 3, you got to put pressure on Goff. Jared Goff has shown, whether it was the 5-pick game against the Houston Texans or the 5-turnover game against the Washington Commanders in the playoffs, if he is pressured, he will make mistakes. Good news is, you got a lot of really good edge rushers. Number 4, you have to catch the football. This one seems elementary. This one seems silly. But if you do this, and if your wide receivers don't make the mistakes that they've made year after year, especially in 2023, that's going to help this offense out tenfold. And the last thing is, you got to make the play late. Who's going to be the one that makes the play late? Because these are 2 really good teams, 2 really good offenses, 2 really good defenses, 2 teams that most likely are going to make the playoffs at the end of the year and be fighting for the lead spot in the NFC North. It's going to come down to the wire. So who's going to be able to make that first down? Who's going to be able to make that kick? Who's going to be able to make that stop? That is how this game is won. Let me know. What is your biggest key to victory for the Packers? I just gave you 5. All I need for you guys is to just give me 1 in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, make sure to click the links to my social media. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you haven't yet, join us today for daily coverage of your Green Bay Packers.